right in the heart of a silver
Okay,
bullet.
we're gonna pivot a little bit to dating for a reason. So this little section is about that dating and moving on. So this is a tricky thing. Sometimes the the reason you guys fall out could be from you break up basically, and it's hypocritical. But you at some point you're gonna date and move on, and you're gonna have to deal with some things. So the stereotype would be if you're the father and you get a new girlfriend, lady, whatever, mom, the mother has an issue. Now you have these tricky situations where you can't see your kid because now they need to vet who you're with. Doesn't work out the other way. You don't vet her new boyfriend or whatever because that person can be around the kid and do whatever, right? But when it's you have that issue. And for some guys, I say, you know, make sure you're over that ex before you start dating. You know, make sure you won't be manipulated or you won't be a manipulator or tor because of the baby. Some people they're still in and out of relationship with each other because they got a kid together. If you're done, you're done. Make that a thing. If we're done, we're done. Sometimes people are sleeping with people to get access to the kid, and you say some ladies will say some guys won't even be a father unless they sleeping with the mother. So that's the way they're use that as access. But if you're gonna date, and move on, move on. I have some things personally. I had a kid rule, which means I had one kid. So whoever, if I get into a relationship, that person could have from 0 kids to 2 kids. It was a one kid, over under. you know, if they have three, that's I got one, you got three, that's too many. If you have zero and don't want to have kids, and yeah, okay, if you got one, I got one. If you got two, you know who knows, in this life I could have had two. You get what I'm saying? So it's that over under thing. The other thing I'll say about dating is there are some people who do this. I don't see it as much, but um sometimes that whole custody battle or alienation or custody thing, if you know there's a certain type of emotional damage that could be done, and now people are longing for love and attention and just a fresh start, and they might start dating, and you know they were straight laced and now they're a biker, or they were a homebody, now they're a partier, or and they get with people because they're trying to find themselves again, and they become this new thing, you know and because it just being themselves in some ways didn't work out for them the way they wanted, as far as the parenting and co-parenting or custody situation went. So now we're just going to go in a different direction. Some people are evolving and some people are self-destructive. So if you find yourself going down a self-destructive path, some people are using dating to do that. You get what I'm saying? So it's the situation I've been through, and now I'm going this direction, so it's kind of these people's fault when it's actually yours. And that goes both ways. You can see it as a father. You can see the mother spiraling, and it's like, we're gonna have to go back to court again, or that's why I got the kid anyways, because of this. you know, because some I've seen some mothers just spiral out of control because uh, they lost custody, and women frown upon women that don't have their kids. So it's that whole exile thing, and it's an issue. The only time I've seen that work easily is, and it's sad to say it, but true, it's when it's a racial element. And um, how can I say this? Well, say it's a black father and a white mother. The white mother might just give the black baby up. Like, I can, my community is frowned upon this, so you can have the baby. So that can happen too, right? But as far as like the dating part, when you decide to do it, you're gonna have to be conscious now. You're gonna have to go, okay, am I having fun or am I looking for something serious? You know, because at some point your kids are gonna be around your lifestyle, not just the people you meet, but your lifestyle. So, is this a lifestyle that they can be proud of, or is this a lifestyle they go, oh my goodness, it's wild over here? you know, so you got to be you when you date and you move on, you got to do that. And sometimes, and it's sad to say this, sometimes when you move on and you're doing good, you're happy. And I've said this before in a different scenario. Sometimes there'll be a little hate and jealousy, and people to try to sabotage your situation. And sometimes the kids are used as a pawn to be spies and possibly sabotage the situation. You know, and sometimes the kids have it all of their own. I want you to be I want mom and dad to be together again. So they got their own little plans, right? So you have to rectify those situations too. It gets in the way of dating. Um, the most important thing I have to say about that is if trying to be sensitive with this subject, the co-parenting thing could leave a bad taste in your mouth. And some people decide I'm going to have more kids. It's just that person's the problem, and I'm gonna just have other kids. And other people go, let me put kids on pause, period, because I don't want to wind up in this situation again. So be careful either way when you go down that path. Because some people say I'm gonna have more kids, and I've witnessed some people go put themselves in a situation where they had more kids than they were able to take care of. You know, and sometimes they have better relationships with the kids, and sometimes they don't. But it's a but sometimes it puts them in a bad spot. They might have one extra or maybe two. Some people have done three, four. It's been a while, man. And then some people say, I'm done. That's it. But when you're done, and I have to say this, don't let your negative experience with co-parenting or courts or custody infect your approach to relationships or dating. Because sometimes people get out here and they're mad at that situation and they're taking it out on people they're dating, and now you're a jerk in a dating space and you're trying to get back at the opposite sex, through dating, and it's like, just move on, man. Just move on. Like, oh, don't even get started dating until you get that anger and bitterness out. So when it comes to dating and moving on, you have to be committed to it, especially to the moving on part. So there's some touchy things with that too. So I'm gonna leave this one at that. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it again.